Arsenal Fan TV America, welcome back. Lots to talk about. New episode. Where do we start? Of course, listen, let's go back to Saturday real quick. We know that City won. We know that our annoying neighbors, Tottenham, won. So coming into today's game, to the Everton's game, psychologically, we needed a win before the game because you have to keep up with City. Now they won every single game. Their goal differential, now you have Tottenham with them. Liverpool is looking strong. There's a couple of teams. Of course, Brighton looks very strong, beating Man United. There's lots of teams that are strong, and it's going to be difficult beating those teams away. So now you go to Everton, new owner, of course, we know Everton was just sold to American company, 777. And I was worried about this game. Again, when new owners come in town, these players want to give 100%, they want to perform. So you would worry from that standpoint. However, before we talk about Arsenal, let's talk about Everton a little bit. Everton is what? Sean Dice, I think, is pretty much the weakest manager in the Premier League. He's not a bad manager. It's different between being a bad manager and the weakest manager in the Premier League. He's not as strong as, lots and lots of managers around, right? So with that said, Everton is not looking great going into the game. And Arsenal on the other side, with the signings we have, with the squad now that's the most expensive in the world, with last year's performance, we were on top of the league the whole year. So you would think that Arsenal are going to come in and really take over that game and win big. Not just take over, because we kind of did, but win big. This is where you put 4-5 past your opponent, because your opponent, again, is not that strong, right? So, a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about the game in details. We're going to talk about David Raya starting versus Ramsdale. We're going to talk about substitutes. We're going to talk about Fabio Vieira. Why is he starting? We're going to talk also about Thomas Partey. A lot of people are asking, including me, where is Thomas Partey and what's happening to Thomas Partey? So we'll find that out also. And we also will talk about our next game and the Champions League. When is that going to happen? And hopefully we have a great opening. We'll also talk about, of course, we're going to start as usual by talking about who started today for Arsenal Football Club versus Everton. Before we go to our back four, let's hold our horses. We always go to the back four because Ramsdale was an automatic almost since Leno left, correct? Now we sold Matt Turner, and now we have David Raya on what? On loan. But with the possibility to buy or an option to buy for 27 mil, I think it's a good, it's very good for such a good goalkeeper. But it's really a bit weird because I'm not sure he's fit. That's the number one thing, to play a Premier League game while Ramsdale, my number one goal, is ready. So maybe he's resting him. Of course, you ask Mikel Arteta, I'll tell you I'll probably rest him for the Champions League. So Ramsdale's going to start for the Champions League. He's not injured. He was there. So I'm not sure sitting my goalkeeper. If I sat David Raya, he just came from another club. So I have every right to let Ramsdale stay in goal. But Mikel Arteta didn't do that. He refused to do that. He chose David Raya over Ramsdale. Lee Dixon said on NBC, I don't know what to expect from him anymore. I can't expect anything from him anymore. Playing, Partey in a right back position or Tomiyasu left and changing goalkeepers rapidly like that beginning of the season. I'm not sure. I need to build confidence for the whole entire, starting 11. And I need specifically my goalkeeper has to have a lot of confidence. However, let's not get carried away with the performance of David Raya today. We can actually answer that and say, hey, listen, he did really well. I think he held the ball when he needed to. His passing, his footwork, his vision. He defended a little bit. A couple of headers he took out. So I think overall, with clean sheet, I'll give him a 9. He did really well. And I think that he also got used to the back four real quick. So let's go to the back four and who started. We see, of course, Willie Saliba and we see Gabriel in the middle. Always comfortable when we see these two starting because you saw last year. There is no reason not to start these two together after great season last season from both of them. Gabriel Magalhaes and from William Saliba. Right back, Ben White, and left back, Alexander Zinchenko, came back and he scored for his country, for the Ukraine, midweek versus England. So you'd think that he is, Zinchenko is in on the high. In the beginning of the game, he didn't do too bad, but still, I think he still holds on to the ball way too long in the middle sometimes. Allows a lot of challenges if he doesn't get it out of his foot right away. The way he's playing and the way Mikel Arteta tucks him in requires for him to really be very, very quick into taking the ball and turning and passing, taking the ball and turning and passing. But he more like holds. He's an additional midfielder going up, so he shouldn't hold the ball. He should just be in position to receive and distribute, right? But he does hold the ball a lot. And I'm not sure him and Declan Rice are on the same page like he was with Granit Xhaka. Now, remember, Granit Xhaka, irreplaceable Granit Xhaka, you should see what he's doing with Bayer Leverkusen, drawing with Bayern Munich at Bayern Munich last yesterday. It was a great game, great watch. You should watch it, last Friday. He's not the one playing with Zinchenko anymore. It's Declan Rice and it's Fabio Vieira, right? So let's just go back and see who else started. So like I said, back four, Willy Saliba, Zinchenko, and the middle two, Gabriel and William Saliba. In front of them, which I found very different and again and weird, I see Fabio Vieira starting. Now, when I go play someone like Everton, that's a physical team. I'm not sure if Fabio Vieira is that little player that's physical or it's going to give me what Granit Xhaka gave me. So comparing apple to apple and you playing them both in the same position and want the same thing from them, it's kind of insane. Again, judging a fish by its ability to climb a tree, that's never a good thing, right? So I didn't like Fabio Vieira starting instead of Kai Havertz, which might be fatigue from Germany. He didn't play the whole game, second game. They put him on the bench. But he might be tired. But I wouldn't. This is the game I'd play Kai Havertz. He needs the physicality. There's not a lot of speed required from him to run in middle of Everton, lines. So I would have played him. I would have started him. Or I would have started Trossard. That came in, of course, from Martinelli. We'll talk about that. But Trossard should have started because, just FYI also, Trossard is having problems with Mikel Arteta not starting him and with him not getting enough time to play. Now, does he have the right? Yes. He showed us preseason, and then you go get Kai Havertz, which is not doing great, and you put him in his place, and you start him off the bench always. He's got to be mad, pissed. He goes and scores for his country. He comes in and scores for us. So I would play him. He's a hot player right at this minute. So play him till he's not hot and someone else is. Now you can integrate that someone. I also didn't see Gabby Jesus. So let's go up front. We started Bukayo Saka on the right and Martinelli on the left. Thank God there was no changes there. Eddie Nketiah through the middle. Okay. He was chosen for England. Didn't play, but was chosen. I liked Eddie. I like his runs. He came back to being aggressive, running on goalies and trying to get the ball back, running at defenders. That's all great by Eddie. I love that. However, again, my question is, Gabby Jesus didn't start. Jorginho didn't start. Fabio Vieira started. What's going on? I mean, why do I have to prove a point, Mikel Arteta, that Fabio Vieira, the guy you bought, which wasn't suitable for Arsenal? I don't know, if someone that scores a beautiful goal every once in a while and make a good pass. I mean, he's a footballer, but I don't know if he fits the system. And again, when you play him in a place where Granit Xhaka used to play, they're different players, different statures, different kind of leaders. You could see the negative body language almost from Fabio Vieira. You can see always when he gets the ball that he doesn't go to the left side like Granit Xhaka and drive at defenders. No, he would pull it always back. 90% of the time, when Fabio Vieira had the ball, except for one time when we scored, 90% of the time, he actually pulled it back. So, again, I wasn't really completely, in line with Arteta's vision. I didn't understand how he started the game. I didn't understand, again, the formation. So, it is what it is, and now we're used to that. Let's go to the game. I thought that Arsenal, here's what I think Arsenal should be like. Arsenal should be an exciting team to watch. I should, put on this game at 8 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. It doesn't matter, AM for us here, and see beautiful football. Yes, I can, there are games that we're going to draw. There's games we're going to snatch wins, right? But I want to see beautiful football. More than anything else, I want to see beautiful football. I'm not sure about trophies, right? Let's just put that on the side. Because if we get all the way to the end and fumble a Premier League, then now there's me sitting back questioning if we're ever going to win a trophy with Arteta. It's very questionable for me right now, and with a lot of Arsenal fans that I personally talk to. So now, let's look at it from the other standpoint. Is Arsenal playing beautiful football? No. So I'm not seeing that. Pragmatic, taking a long time, thinking way too much. There's no quickness in the play. There's slowing down. There's just going to sides. There's no 1-2 penetrative passes, and there's no, give and go. There's no moving in space to get the ball and turn and go up front. No, it's more play back, keep the ball. You know what? Keep the ball. That's not a problem. Right after Arsenal, I was able to watch Real Madrid today. And Real Madrid is a team that keeps the ball, right? However, we know that Toni Kroos dictates the game for them, right? Moves them left and right. When they see an opening, they go take it. Boom, try. If not, they lose the ball, they go get it. And then try again. Sometimes they keep the ball longer. But Arsenal, 78%. And we keep the ball and we can't score. It's just sometimes is really difficult to understand how many times we took a shot on their goal. How many times we were able to be, that missed it just by this much or that much. Nothing. It's one move, one beautiful Arsenal move that we're used to Arsene Wenger's days. These moves happen the whole game. And if the game is an hour and a half, at least it happens for an hour of the hour and a half, right? Nobody can sustain an hour and a half of that beautiful football, even Barcelona in their heydays, right? But they still give you beautiful football. Barcelona gives you beautiful football. Real Madrid gives you beautiful football. Bayern Munich, Borussia Dortmund, you look at the, Bayer Leverkusen with Xabi Alonso in Germany gives you, Bundesliga gives you beautiful football. You watch Inter Milan with Inzaghi in Italy, it gives you beautiful football. We saw Napoli last year, beautiful football. We see Man City, you got to be honest, they're playing beautiful football. Brighton, watch Brighton beating Manchester United at Manchester United. That's the statement. Playing beautiful football. Comes to Arsenal. Moving the ball around. Boring. Going to the side. Even today we saw Martinelli got hurt. Unfortunately, 20 some odd minutes. He scores. The goal wasn't counted. Per Gary Neville himself says, sometimes you feel that the decisions are not right. And that one felt like that. Hey, listen. We've got DVRs. We can rewind. If you don't want to show us in VAR, we can rewind and we could see on TV. Most TVs in the world now, cable companies and internet, have that rewind 10-second button and freeze. So we could see what's happening. That's not an offside. That's a goal. That should be allowed, 100%. But again, shambolicness. That's the same exact referee that didn't give a penalty in Manchester United when Onana went out in the 18th and punched another player in the face, the Wolves player, when they were playing them at Man United. So right after that, the week after that, he was not refereeing. Now, the inconsistency also of giving cards, that foul on Saka by, Vitaly Mikalenko, the Everton player, and you have VAR people looking at it and you didn't give a card, that is a bad foul play. You could break someone like that. However, a couple of minutes after that, you see Gabriel standing his ground. Player runs into him. He runs to his pocket and gives a card. Are you serious about that? Come on, Mr. Hopper, Simon Hopper. Come on. You got to be consistent. You can't just give that as a card. And listen, Mikalenko, if he could have gotten another card easily on Bukayo Saka and what he was doing, harassing him like that with violence. But the ref refused to give it. Anyways, we move forward. Of course, again, first half, all Arsenal. Didn't see anything. Didn't enjoy the football. With the injury of Martinelli, hopefully he's okay. Trossard comes in. I thought he played really, really well. And again, we had lots and lots of ball possession, but nothing happened. We just didn't do anything. And that's my worry, and that's the problem with Arsenal, that we don't, again, we play that pragmatic, that slowness, that think a lot about it before you pass. I don't like any of that. There's no runs. There's no creativity. Comes in the second half, and we were able right away to get our stuff together. And one play, one single play that Arsenal played like they played their football, pass, and then put it, and Trossard puts his left foot right on top or right into the 18. So it hits the post and ricochets off of it and goes in the goal. And what a goal that was by Trossard. But other than that, again, the whole entire second half, it was more like Pickford, their goalkeeper, fouls that shouldn't be fouls that Simon given them. And then from the middle, they bumped it all the way, and then we clear it out. And we try to go to the sides, but I don't see Bukayo Saka going at them from the middle. I don't see Odegaard turning around and going through the middle. I don't see any Arsenal runs. Second half, Gabby Jesus came in. Tomiyasu came in. Kai Havertz came in for Fabio Vieira. We looked a little better, but the same thing. It looks like we're not on the training ground, enough. But I know we are training every single day. But what we working on training is not happening in the game. Or what's happening in the game, it's not really worked enough on in training. That's why we see the slowness. If you want to play fast football, look, any good coach in the world, I'm not going to mention names, but you can look them up. It will tell you that quickness is key. You have to practice the quickness of the football and the pass and move all the time. And that's how you get a football team to really play at top level, right? The pass, the move, the give and go, the two-touch football. I receive, I pass. I receive, I pass, and then I move. I receive, I pass, then I move. I hold when I should or I need to as a defender, but everybody else up front should be passing and moving. Once that ball is lost, in quick seconds, I have to get the ball back. I have to be looking around enough and scanning around enough. Like Arsene Wenger always used to say, a good player, the greatest of players, the greatest of midfielders, always look about 4 to 6 times in 10 seconds. So, is Arsenal doing what Arsenal need to do on the training ground for them to execute beautiful football on the pitch? I don't see beautiful football. I see beautiful football from other teams, so I can compare, but I'm an Arsenal diehard. I would watch Arsenal no matter what, support Arsenal no matter what. However, to give you, this show and to analyze with you what happened, I have to be honest. And honesty here, I have to wear the hat of someone that's looking at Arsenal as a neutral, that's not an Arsenal fan. And that's why I'm critical of the way we play. There is no reason sometimes we play the way we play. However, with that being said, a lot of people had that question for Thomas Partey's, not in the squad. First, Thomas Partey is a great player, and we need to hang on to Thomas Partey. And before we talk about his injury, we have to talk about his link to Juventus. Since Paul Pogba and the news about him, all the rumors that we hear about him with the anti-doping situation, there's a doubt that he's going to be banned for some time. We don't know, maybe 4 months, maybe 4 years. So now Juventus turned heads to our Thomas Partey. That was, of course, not utilized and used. This guy is class. Thomas Partey, since Atletico Madrid's days, and everyone's trying to get him. The Ghanaian international, you should watch him with Ghana. You should have watched him with Atletico Madrid. It's class. And we've seen him with Arsenal. That's why Arsenal is struggling, because we had Thomas Partey and Xhaka. Those are two very strong midfielders. You're not going to replace them with Fabio Vieira and Kai Havertz and expect the same results. That is insane. So we got to be realistic. We got to keep Thomas Partey. We got to inject him in the middle with Declan Rice till Declan Rice is comfortable. Because right till today, you could see that Declan Rice is not comfortable with Odegaard. And Odegaard keep making those runs up front, but nobody else pressure. As a team, you got to pressure. Everyone has got to pressure. So when Declan Rice sees Odegaard like that, he has to always follow him. But they're not syncing together. So, go to Thomas Partey's injury. He's got a groin injury. They're scanning it. That's why he wasn't included. So, hopefully, he recovers soon, or hopefully there's nothing serious. And I don't know about now, Juventus going after him, talking to him. Hopefully that he has a good relation with Mikel Arteta that's playing him in the wrong position and not playing him when he needed to play or whatever. But hey, listen, now that we know that he was injured since October and he's still working on this injury, maybe he's not fit. We don't know, but we want to see Thomas Partey more often. When he was back and he was playing for Arsenal, again, I would never play a player like him in the right back position, but hey, it is what it is. Great win, yeah, Gunners. At the end of the day, great win. We needed to win games like that. And again, Everton, to me, the weakest manager and team combined. Hopefully the new owners will do something for them or not. Merseyside is having issues, is having trouble. Our next game, we play Champions League football at the Emirates on Wednesday night. Yes, we're going to host PSV Eindhoven. That's a club from the Netherlands. They won their league last year, so they're league winners. Respect to them. They had Ruud van Nistelrooy, was a great coach. He's not with them anymore, but they're playing flying football. So we need to show up and we need to beat them at the Emirates. That is a must-win game for us. So hopefully we come back to the Champions League on high notes. You ask me, is he going to start Ramsdale or David Raya? I have no idea. He keeps surprising me. He keeps starting people. We keep winning just, by the luck of the draw, whatever, somebody's looking over us. So, hey, let's keep winning. Pull whomever you want, but let's keep winning. But I would love to see Arsenal play our beautiful football. Definitely we'll see you after our Champions League game so we can talk about what happened, we can analyze it, and hopefully we can talk about a win for Arsenal. First game, Champions League 23-24. Thank you Gunners today for winning versus Everton. That again puts us up there with second place almost because we're tied, second, third, and fourth like last week. We are still one of 4 teams, us, Manchester City, Tottenham, and Liverpool, that weren't beaten, that didn't lose. So let's keep it that way, Gunners. Let's remember the Invincibles. This is our anniversary, 2014, 2024. So hopefully we go invincible again. Of course, that's a big hope, big if. But hey, we're 4 games in and we're unbeaten. So that's very positive for us. And now we're 4th in the table. As you could see, Manchester City played 5 games, have 15 points. Tottenham, 2nd, played 5, have 13. Liverpool and Arsenal are the same also, played 5 and have 13 points. And number 5 is Brighton. They played 5, but they have 12 points. Of course, you're going to ask me, why are we number 4 and we're tied with, Liverpool and Tottenham on points? Is because of the goal differentials. So they have more goals than us. The way it's calculated, how many goals you scored versus how many goals scored against you. And then that number in the middle is the goal differential. So if you scored 15 goals, but you conceded 5 goals, then 10 goals is what you have. So as we could see, Manchester City have more goals than anyone else. They're up top, first place. They won every game. Tottenham, Arsenal, and Liverpool, all 3 of them has a draw. So that's why they all have 13 points, 2 points less than Manchester City, the top of the league. Thank you very, very much for watching. Don't forget, subscribe, and like and share. And we'll see you, Champions League football, Wednesday. Come on, you Gunners, another win.